everybody, welcome to Potty Talk, the only talk show where we have to hide in the bathroom to get away from our children and husbands, I will add. Today my guest is the amazing Kristina Kuzmic. She is a mom of 3, she is an author, and she is a viral video star with over 1 billion video views with a B. Kristina, it's amazing! Thank you for hiding in the bathroom with me.
Here?
Yeah, what's going on?
Apparently my children think that it will kill them to replace this, but I'm proud of them because there's still meat on these bones. You see that? We can't waste this. I'm using this.
You can still get a wipe out of those.
Yes. I mean, I have raised lazy kids, but ones who don't waste. So, you know.
Especially in these times, that's important.
I'm at a point where I'm going to use the actual, what's it called? The roll. I'm going to use the cardboard. If I end up with a paper cut down there, I will let you know. I'm doing the research for all of you. You're welcome.
Well, I can tell you I've actually done it, and it works.
Did you get a paper cut?
I did not get a paper cut. All is intact as can be after having 2 children.
Yeah, so yeah, I get it. Yeah, it looks like a war zone. I get it.
So not only are you hilarious and your videos are hilarious, but I feel like you're so real and you're so deep, and someone is moving garbage cans. Like, I can't even get a sentence out.
Welcome to real life.
All I hear is grrr. Anyway. What I was trying to say is that you are so funny, and so many of your videos are so funny, but then you are also so honest and real and raw, and I wanted to talk to you about where that comes from, because I feel like you speak to my soul in a way, and you're like a guru of mommies. I want you to be my mommy. And where did you gain such insight and wisdom?
I don't know that it's wisdom, but I basically just have sort of used all the stuff that I've been through, you know, from depression and being suicidal at one point in my life when I had 2 little kids, divorce, miscarriage, even growing up in a, you know, war-torn country when I was a kid in Croatia. I decided I was gonna use all the things I learned through those experiences to help somebody else feel less alone. Because I don't want another human being to get to that point where I was, where they're literally contemplating taking their life. Well, they have little kids. Even if you don't have kids, I don't want you to get to that point. So I decided that I want to be for others what I needed when I was at my lowest. And that is my goal through everything I create. Even if it's just a funny, silly video, let me make somebody laugh who's struggling. And then I go there and I talk about the heavy stuff too.
Which I love. And how did you pull yourself out of that place?
You know what? It took a lot of work and a lot of feistiness. And I write about all of that in my book, Hold On But Don't Hold Still. But I kind of compare it to, you know, when you're at that low place, it's like sitting down in an awkward position. You know when you're sitting in an awkward position and you try to get up and you're numb and you're hurting and it's uncomfortable and you're like, oh, I can't do it. But what do? You still get up, right? But emotionally, when we find ourselves in that position and we try to take a step forward in our life and it's hard and it's uncomfortable and it's numb and it hurts and I don't like it, emotionally, we don't get up. We go, it's too hard, I'm uncomfortable, I'm just going to sit here. And I'm asking everybody, get up. Because I had to do it. I wouldn't be here if I didn't get up. And
Amen.
It's not going to be easy. Any cute little quote that you find on the internet that tells you it's like, you know, just look for the light at the end of the tunnel. It's not like driving in a convertible through a tunnel and the light's right there. It's like crawling through a muddy, bat-filled cave of your nightmares and you can't see the light and you keep slipping down and then maybe you see a glimmer of light and you make it further up and you slip down again and you have to keep pushing forward. That's how hard it is, but I'm here to tell you it is worth it. Because I can't imagine hating myself or hating my life right now the way I used to. So it is worth getting uncomfortable.
You are just so inspiring. And I hope that everybody who hears your words gets themselves up and crawls through the mud and does it, because whether it's down, down, down in the depths or here, we've all been there, right? And we've all struggled through our crap. And someone might look like a beautiful, successful author, viral video star. And it's amazing to know that even someone like you has been through so much and has triumphed over it.
Well, the truth is, if any of my followers who now look up to me had met me 13 years ago, they would have pitied me. They wouldn't they wouldn't have looked up to me. They would have pitied me. They would have been like, oh my gosh, she's kind of a loser. I mean, I had no money. I was sharing a room with my kids. I was so negative. I mean, I was like the most negative human being alive. You could put me in the most beautiful place and I would find something wrong with it. You know, I was just a person that hated herself and hated her life. And so if there's nothing more special about me than anybody else. So if I can go from that to loving my life and feeling confident and accepting my flaws and all of that, then there is no reason everybody else can't also.
Oh, you just speak to my soul. I just love you so much. And speaking about your life, I'm going to ask you now the Potty Talk questions, which are 7 questions that I ask every guest who comes on the show. And the first one is, what do you miss most about your pre-kids life?
Sleep. Yes. I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, sleeping actually turns me on. Like, when I've had my nights out with girlfriends and we're all talking and they're like, so what turns you on in the bedroom? And I'm like, sleep. That's what turns me on in the bedroom. Sleep.
Don't touch me. Just let me sleep. I see you have your coffee. Is it cold?
Oh, it is like 7 hours old. I'll microwave it 13 times during the day. I didn't even have time for that today. By the way, you can touch me, this is to my husband, after I get my sleep. Just let me get my sleep. I don't mind the touching, but I need to sleep. Was that TMI?
Oh, bring it. We love TMI on Potty Talk.
Listen, sex is a great stress reliever. So sometimes we're like, you know what? I'm just too stressed out. I'm too tired. But then you get that in there. Did you like how I did that? You get that in there and you feel a little less stressed, actually.
I think you're not only now my favorite, but when my husband watches this, he's going to be like, listen to Kristina. She's a wise woman.
Honey, aren't you stressed?
I'm always stressed, so it'll be perfect. Honey, you need some stress relief right now. Okay, what is the worst piece of parenting advice you ever received?
Almost all of it. Pretty much anything where somebody told me that one specific thing is definitely going to work for my kid. Which, by the way, that is not how it works. Because this is why parenting is so hard. Because every kid is different, every circumstance is different, every family dynamic is different. And we get that first kid and we get something right with that kid and we're like, oh my gosh, now I'll know how to handle it with the next one. But it's not like riding a bike. Your first kid might be a bicycle, but next one might be a tractor. My third kid...
Or mine's a motorcycle who never stops.
My third kid is a spaceship. I've never operated a spaceship. You know, you would think by now, I've been parenting for almost 17 years. I know how to handle the youngest. No, I've never operated a spaceship. So, you know, you got to do what's best for your family and for you, and everybody else needs to just mind their own motherhood.
Zip it.
Yep.
Okay, question 3. What is the meanest thing one of your kids has ever said or done to you?
You just want one? I have 2 teenagers.
Believe it or not, I've spoken to people who say their kids have not said anything mean to them, and I don't know if they're lying, living in denial, if they just don't hear, or if there's something wrong in my family, because I get daily mean things.
No, they're saying it behind their back. See, my kids and I have the type of communication where they're actually going to say it to my face.
Yes.
I want to create a relationship where my kids will tell me everything. Oh, that backfired. I mean, I've had everything from I hate you, you're the worst mom ever. Wait, there are moms that actually look up to you? Yeah, okay. You know, the thing is, what I've had to realize as a parent is that kind of anger is coming from a place of pain. And so where I used to get super offended or I used to take things personally, now I realize it's not personal at all. And what I need to deal with is A, no, you don't get to talk to me like that, and there's a consequence. But B, which is even more important than A, I need to figure out what is going on beneath, what is the river beneath the river? What is happening there, and how can I help my child with whatever pain they're in?
I think that's a really good point. I have a teenager as well, and she can be brutal to me. She told me the other day that I was a worse parent than my father who abandoned me. Low. But I have to realize, and I take it personally, and I have finally started to come to a place where I'm learning to not take it personally. And yes, she was angry about something, and she always apologizes. Like, she really is the most lovely child, but she ultimately will come back and, I'm sorry, I was mad, I was frustrated, I was hating myself, whatever it is. But it's so hard not to take it personally.
Yeah, but it's so good that you're realizing that it's not personal, because for them, it's like they are scared, they are confused, they are going through their own stuff, they have their own insecurities, and they don't know how to deal with it. And a lot of people, and not just kids, adults do this. They think that pain is like dodgeball. I'm going to take this ball of pain I feel, and I'm going to throw it at you, and then it's out of my hands. But it doesn't work that way, right? Because being a crappy human will never make you a happy human. So our job as their parents is to teach them how to deal with that ball of pain. And it's so hard because we're already overwhelmed and we're already busy. And it's like, okay, now this is an extra thing that I have to invest in while not taking it personally. Someone said something to me once that really helped me. They said teenagers, even younger kids, a lot of times it's kind of like you compare it to when you get on a ride, a roller coaster ride, and they put that seatbelt on you, right? And what's the first thing everybody does? They push it, right? Because you're testing it. Is it going to keep me safe? Is it locked in? That's what our kids are doing to us. Is this a safe place to fall? Am I safe here? Are they still going to, carry me and love me and everything, even if I push? They're testing us. And so we need to be that safe place to fall. That's not saying we let them get away with being disrespectful jerks, but there's that balance of you're not allowed to do this, but let's also deal with the real problem.
I love that. Someone once said to me, childhood is a roller coaster, and our job is not to get on the roller coaster with them, but to wait at the bottom with a snack.
I love that. I love that. That's so good.
Okay, you are so wise. I can't imagine you have made any parenting mistakes, but what is the biggest parenting mistake you've ever made?
Oh my gosh, I make mistakes daily. And I think the biggest, to sort of generalize it, is every time I've let my ego get in the way. Whether it was, when my older kids were younger and they were doing a science project and I decided to helicopter the crap out of it because I wanted it to look good. That's my ego getting in the way. And think about that. What I'm actually telling my kid when I do that is, your way isn't good enough. Which is so horrible, right? So I've had to learn to not do that, or even my ego getting in the way of, the way I handle arguments and just not even listening to my kid. One thing I've learned, especially with teenagers, if I don't shut up, they're going to shut down. So I need to do more listening. And so ego, ego is always an issue, I think, for most of us.
You talking about the science fair project reminds me of a friend who helped her kid with an art project at school. She didn't realize that it was a contest. And so then this piece of art that she made gets submitted to the county for the art contest. And she was really torn between, oh my God, I cannot win this and beat all the other second graders. And also I better win this and beat all the other second graders.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Okay, describe parenting in one word.
Chopped. You know that Food Network show, Chopped? That's what parenting is. They hand us a tray of ingredients we weren't expecting. Some of them were like, oh yeah, I knew that was coming. And then other ones are like, this sucks. I don't even like this. And then other ingredients like, I've never worked with this. I don't. That's what parenting is. It's a bunch of ingredients we weren't expecting, and we are supposed to create something great out of it. But here's the great thing. We can. Instead of just dwelling on how much this tray can suck at times, we can go, okay, what is the best I can do with this without completely losing my sanity? And that last part is important, because sometimes we get into the trap of comparing and competing what other people are doing with their tray. Don't worry about that. Do the best you can with your tray without completely losing your mind. Now, semi-losing your mind is normal and totally expected.
I lose my mind constantly. But yeah, I was thinking it's chopped, but ignore the judges.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The judges don't matter. There will always be people who are going to judge your parenting. You need to learn to shut them out, or you will never, ever, ever enjoy this journey. It is your journey. You do it your way. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about it. It doesn't matter. You are not on trial, by the way. I feel like sometimes parents feel like they need to defend themselves and explain themselves to everybody and bring evidence. You're not on trial. You are a free human being. You are free. You are not on trial.
Okay, what is your proudest parenting moment?
Every time I witness one of my children being really kind, to me, that is like, I just want to raise kids who are kind and feisty and authentic. And so every time I've witnessed something, happen, I'm like, oh, okay, we're going to be okay. Nothing else matters. We're going to be okay because my child cares about how other people feel and putting good into the world.
Yeah, I once tweeted, teach your children to be kind, but also not tolerate anyone's
Absolutely. I write about this in my book, how there's a difference between being nice and kind. And we, especially women, are taught to be nice, which means, how is everybody doing? Does everybody have what they need? It's kind of a superficial thing. Let's not hurt anybody's feelings. Being kind is caring about the bigger picture. How can I make the world a better place? And you don't make the world a better place by tolerating evil, by letting people treat you like crap. That is not helping the world. That is hurting the world. So kindness is about strength. It's about standing up for what is right in order to create a kinder world.
Yes! I want to give you a hug. You're just so awesome. Okay, what is your best piece of parenting advice for everybody watching?
Give yourself more credit than criticism and more grace than judgment. At the end of the day, instead of stressing over your long to-do list and all the things you didn't do, or stressing about that conversation that you handled awkwardly and you could have handled better and just beating yourself up, instead lay there in bed, ignore the to-do list, and start writing the ta-da list. Ta-da! This is what I did right. And you are going to love yourself and love your children and love parenting a lot more.
I think that is such incredible advice, not even just for parenting, but for life, to turn your to-do list into a ta-da list. Like, that's amazing. I'm going to try it tonight because I am so guilty of the to-do list and the guilt and the anxiety and the stress and like, oh my God, what did I say that was awkward? And revisiting the email I sent and how I screwed up everything. I just am constantly second guessing and beating myself up.
Which, by the way, you're beating yourself up for being a human. We're so ridiculous. We're human. We're supposed to make mistakes. We're not failing when we make mistakes. We're learning. We're supposed to be learning. Why beat yourself up for learning, right? But make sure when you do write that to-do list that you add everything, because sometimes we feel like we have to save the world in order to receive some kind of praise, right? No, I got out of bed. I mean, I'm serious. Depression and all this and stress and now this quarantine. Life is hard. If you got out of bed and showed up for your life, ta-da, you get a check mark. You fed your kids, you loved your kids, you listened to that story that was very boring, but you paid attention because your kid needed you to, ta-da! So make sure you give yourself credit for those things that to you maybe seem little and insignificant, but without it, everything would fall apart. Your kids rely on you for those tiny little things that you never give yourself enough credit for.
Right, just being present and being there is a ta-da.
Ta-da. Yes.
So tell everybody where they can find you on the interwebs.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. It's all at Kristina with a K, Kuzmic.
And your book, your amazing book?
It's called Hold On But Don't Hold Still. And it basically, I go there. I talk about all the stuff I have struggled through and where I am now. A lot of people thought because of my funny videos, it would just be a bunch of funny parenting stories. It's not at all. We talk about sexual harassment. We talk about miscarriage, divorce, depression, all of it. I mean, I go there.
I love that you go there. I love you so much, and I am so grateful that you hid in the bathroom with me.
I love you too. And can you please have my kids be as excited to see me as you got excited to see me today? Could you talk to them?
Well, I was going to say, I'm shocked we didn't get interrupted, but I think it's because of that toilet paper roll. They know if they come in, they're going to have to change it.
They're scared. They're scared to see my face when they realize that this is all they left me. This is it. This is it. How big? I mean, I should take it as a compliment that they think my butt is that small that this would take care of it. Have you seen my butt lately, kids?
Well, happy wiping, Kristina.
Thank you.